I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank our in-house group as well as everybody who's watching on Zoom with us today. I don't know how many of you there are, but recent weeks it's been like 135 people. So it's really wonderful to see this group grow. Additionally, we have a YouTube live channel now, so there's people watching us around the clock and commenting and having their own community. So you might check that out sometime if you're needing some inspiration in the middle of the night. There it is. So I was thinking of Reverend Theo yesterday, who used to read the following at the start of each lesson. And here it is. She said something else, but this comes from the old First Church. Peace be unto thee, stranger. Enter and be not afraid. The table is laid and the fruits of life are spread before you. All is yours, and you are welcome. And then she also said the part that I wasn't sure about, which my take on it was, I have placed within you everything you need for your good and your well-being, or something to that effect. And so it is. I have many poems, passages that I've acquired over the years. I don't really have them in a catalog. It's usually they come to mind when I'm putting a lesson together. I think, oh yeah, I remember this. And today I wanted to share one of them, which is one of my favorites, and it's called Outwitted. I've always liked it. Sometimes you have to hear it once or twice. And I think it's perfect for today. It was written by Edwin Markham, and it's very short. He drew a circle that shut me out. A heretic, a rebel, something to flout. But love and I had the wit to win. We drew a larger circle that took him in. And see, you can think about how we reject ourselves and how we have been rejected in our lives in different places, or how we think we've been rejected. But you always can draw a larger circle of love around everything, around yourself. And I think that poem beautifully captures the concept of embracing others with love and understanding, expanding the boundaries of acceptance, self-acceptance, and unifies us with other people. And I think it'll tie in today's theme, or themes plural. I have a song for you done by a children's chorus that will illustrate some of today's points. And it comes from the Barnum and Bailey adaptation, well, it's a movie about his life. So good morning again. Let us proceed. That song came from The Greatest Showman, which was a movie that was out in 2017, and it was a musical film inspired by the life of P.T. Barnum. P.T. Barnum lived from 1810 until 1891, and I thought I better say who he was, because maybe the younger generations don't even know. He was many things. What do you think he was? Creator of the circus. You might also know he had a museum here in New York City. He was a politician. He was in office. He was a philanthropist. Most remember him, though, as a legendary showman and an entertainer. While critics had mixed opinions about the movie, the film, it was undeniably, even though the critics are the critics, it was a huge commercial success, and it resonated deeply with audiences all over the world. The song "This Is Me" became an anthem for self-acceptance, empowerment, and resilience. I had slides for this today, Jimmy. And as many of you know, our teaching is all about three things. It's about self-acceptance and self-approval. And the characters in that show all had something special about them. You might remember the bearded lady. You remember, all the different characters. They were singing in joy about self-acceptance and self-approval. So what we do here at the center always is we present lessons every week on the importance of learning to love yourself, learning that you are important, you're not junk, that you're part of this one cosmic life, this one energy, that you are a spiritual being, and you have come here to learn, you've come here to grow, you've come here to expand. The core principles of our New Thought teaching is that our thought creates our reality. We believe that there's a universal consciousness or intelligence permeating everything. This energy is receptive to our belief, and it manifests according to what we believe. It's as simple as that. What the mind can see and believe, it will achieve. So this energy is so receptive and so malleable by our thoughts. So we want to learn how to work in harmony with this energy. Individuals must first accept themselves and love themselves. It's important. I must learn to love, accept, and approve of myself, realizing that each of us and all of us are spiritual beings. All of us are evolving and unfolding and growing. So we don't have the time to waste with the stuff that most of us spend our time with. We don't have the time to criticize. We don't have the time to be belittling ourselves or others. Every time you spend a moment talking about other people and what they're doing or any of that type of stuff, Betty Davis Ollenboker would say, what a pity. It's just, lost in space. We're here to love ourselves and to, in this teaching, we're becoming God realized. We're waking up to what we are. And as you wake up to what you are, you don't really have time for talking about that stuff. Can you imagine if you thought of a God as a person, which we all don't, we think of God as a presence. Would that God have time to be talking about the imperfections in others? Wouldn't that presence, that loving energy, be loving its creation? So why do we have time for that? Why do we have time to criticize ourselves and others? So if there's a sin, in the idea of missing a mark, we miss the mark when we're caught up in self-criticism, blame, or when we're on a negative track. So we wake up and we embrace that we have it within us, and it woos us, it attempts at every turn to get our attention. Emerson said the dice of God are always loaded, meaning you can continually screw up, and there will be that presence within you that, you feel guilty, you feel bad because you've done something that's really not for your highest and best. And so there is this corrective thing that operates in all of us, thankfully, that guides us. But it works that way, but it also works as you commune with it, as you learn to slow down, take a pause, meditate, learn to pray affirmatively. You can align yourself with what it is, and you can open up doors into your world where it will demonstrate great good in your life. So we understand, as the song suggested, that we're not flawed, but we're perfect manifestations of the universe. We are individualizations of this God life. Again, we are individualizations of it. So when you think of yourself and you're thinking poorly of yourself, you might say to yourself, my goodness, I'm an individualization of God life. I am one with the one. I'm one with the one energy. And then when you think of other people, when you tend to criticize them and think that they're screwed up and you're bad people, there is no such thing. There's people living wherever they are in consciousness, doing the best that they can. You might not like how they show up, but this is where they are. So this is a lesson we go over and over again in our teaching, that everyone's doing the best they can. Now, you might not like it. You want them to be another way, right? But just as you are unfolding in perfection and you've learned your lessons along the way, so is everyone else. So let them off the hook, because when you let them off the hook, the person you're really letting off the hook is yourself. I was taught probably 30 years ago. Perfect place, perfect time, all the time. Well, what does that mean? It means I'm in the perfect place, the perfect time. And when? All the time. And I'm learning what I need to learn when? Yeah, now. I'm learning what I need to learn when I learn it. See, we think we're running this, and we're not really. I mean, we have power within it to use, of course. There's power for good in the universe greater than we are, of which we're a part, and we can use it. The best way to use it is to align ourselves with what it is, to surrender and to realize it works according to laws. We are individualizations of this God life, one with the one. So the song today and our teaching is always about empowerment. If our thoughts and beliefs shape our reality, then we hold immense power within us. You don't think of yourself as powerful. And I say this to our extended audience, because I know the people sitting here really know this by now. The thoughts within you have immense power, and you hold immense power. We are not victims of external circumstances. You might think it, you might talk that way, but please, as you stay with us, stop talking about yourself as victims. Stop just stop the language which would suggest that somebody's done something to me to make me the way I am. That's really a mistake. And you live your life that way, you're just creating a hole for yourself. It's much better, we learn in this teaching, to say, I allowed, I created, because then you're coming from an empowered place. If we're always talking about what what people have done, the hand that we have been played, and we go into some type of feeling sorry for ourselves, it becomes very difficult. There's a line from a book I'm fond of which says, we are not victims of the world we see, just the opposite. We have enough power. We have power to shape our destiny and really to reach for the stars and to create a fantastic life. We can create a vision that can take us, wherever we really want to go. We have the ability to heal. We have the ability to transform. So in this teaching, we develop tremendous resilience and strength. So, people come to New Thought and they think, it's lightweight. They think, this is just good, law of attraction. I can demonstrate a house, a girlfriend, a boyfriend. I can just blink, and there all it is. But the teaching really requires more of us. We develop tremendous strength, resilience, and we do so because we become open and willing to change our thinking. I remember from all the 12-step programs, there was a slogan which said, willingness is the key. It's the key that opens all the doors. We come into this teaching to see that we have the power to overcome any situation. And we commune with this power. We commune with this God energy. We become mystics of sorts because we understand that there's a presence, and that presence is within us, and we contemplate it. And as we understand that there is this one thing that's in us, and it's alive in us, and it's there, and it always provides you the answers. When you slow down and you pause and you listen, it's always there. I love reading that J. Willard Freeman poem, I am there. I'm there when you pray. I'm there when you don't pray. I am there because I am. It is within you, operating through you. It can be no other way. So you have within you the best kept secret of the ages. You have God within. And it's always there. And you can always turn to it. And it will always guide you. But we drown it out. Fast living. We used to say wine, women, and song, anything. We get distracted with shiny objects. There's another song that I love. And the song I love says, we're free to turn it around. When can we turn it around? We can turn around at any moment. Anytime we can create a new moment. My book, that's yet written, is the new moment. Putting yourself in that new moment where all things are possible. And when do you do that? each and every time you think, put yourself in that new place and realize I am as God created me, whole, complete, loving, and beautiful. You're not your brokenness. You are the truth of spirit, the truth of God. You are an individualization of that. So your life, my life everywhere is unfolding. It's spiraling, it's growing, it's evolving. You're always more than what you were. Louise Hay, who you all know we're very fond of, she's probably the reason that our group has grown to the size it is. She taught the very same thing, that this energy is receptive to the thoughts and beliefs and manifests according to them. Louise always spoke of the importance of self-acceptance and loving the self. Self-approval. She said it's the key to all positive changes. And that healing begins with doing that, loving yourself. Never, never, never criticize yourself. Her affirmations are tools for self-acceptance. Her most famous one, I love, accept, and approve of myself exactly as I am, reinforces self-worth and self-love. She emphasizes that all healing begins with loving yourself more. Now, some of you might think that's grandiose, and these people, all they do is talk about loving themselves. But the thing is, as we really begin to love ourselves, then we can authentically express that to other people. It's not a bargaining. I can love you no matter how you show up. You can show up as a terror. And I'll say, well, they're so-and-so being a terror today. Okay, what does that have to do with me in the first place? Absolutely nothing. I really understand that people are doing the best that they can with where they are. It's a basic Christian principle too, by the way. Love your brother or sister as yourself. Love your enemy. Love everybody. Love it all. So our teaching is, we have a metaphysical approach. We're here to see the God. We're here to see the good in everything. And people don't like that sometimes. I have people in my own family who don't like it. They'll say, but you got to understand that person knew what they were doing when they did it, and I'll listen to that. So then when someone's doing that, they're very invested in a position. And you know what we say here, because who's got the problem when you're all upset about what other people are doing? That was a great lesson from a great therapist for me many years ago. Who's got the problem? I've got the problem when I'm all bent out of shape. They don't have any problem. I've got the problem. I've got the problem when a person is where they are, they're evolving, they're acting out from my humble opinion or not humble opinion. And the thing is, they're just doing what they're doing. So let them do what they do. The mistake for me is to get in there and try to fix them. Raymond Charles Barker would say, I told you he had a really famous talk, how to change people. He filled the whole church. And of course, in the course of his lesson, he said, you can't change anybody other than yourself. So, Louise said, all healing begins with self-healing, loving yourself more and more. And we can do it. We can do all of this, and it's not that difficult. If you stay tuned into these lessons week by week, and now you can listen to them whenever you want to throughout the night on YouTube Live, you can learn to love yourself. You can learn to be the person that extends peace and love to others unconditionally. I can love you no matter what you do. Because I'm not attached to what you do. See, there's a problem with people have. They have attachments. They want people to show up in a certain way. I mean, the best kind of relationships, really, if you think about it, is where you can just love people however they are. It's work to be that person that can love people no matter how they show up. I spent a good deal of my time in my adult life learning about attachments. If you get to the point where you're not attached to how people act, what they do, you have freedom. And you give them freedom. If you do it the other way, and Louise would talk about that too, where you talking, in her book she'll say, just notice how often you use the word should. And then she says, will say, it might indicate that you have patterns of rigidity within you. I first read that, I laughed, because I knew I was saying should all the time. This person should do that, I should do that, everybody should do this, So I had very strong opinions on how life ought to be and what people should do. And really, in my mind, what I was doing is taking everybody's inventory. And from a 12-step program, there's a saying, there is one power and it's not you. Let God be God. So, we are individualizations of that one power. And that power is unfolding perfectly, and it gives you everything you need. And the thing to always remember is it's doing the same thing for everyone else. So give people a break. Let them be who they are. You don't have to live with them, dance with them. You can let them do their thing over there. You can have boundaries and create your own space. But understand a basic tenet of this teaching is perfect place, perfect time. And understand that you are in the same way unfolding. And, I know I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I'm sure many of you feel you have too. But every one of them have brought me to the understanding that I presently have. So everybody here are really, in fact, victors. You're people who are resilient. You've learned many lessons, and so you have tremendous wisdom that you can draw on. So all healing, according to our teaching, begins with loving ourselves. And I'm here to say, you can do it. You come fully equipped. As Reverend Theo said, I have placed within you everything you need for good, and Jimmy, I think, would say godliness. We can do it. Louise Hay and the New Thought teaching, Science of Mind, offers people tools to face anything we may ever encounter. So by changing our thought patterns and really being willing to do that, right? Our thought patterns and using affirmations, affirmative prayer, individuals can heal their life. Our teaching is powerful and transformative. I don't know how to underscore that because you hear me talk every week. Oh, well, Greg's just talking about this. I'm here to tell you, you have tremendous power available to you. Now, you may just discount that, but you have it. Starting here, starting now, you could turn the whole damn thing around. If you what? You gotta want it. I'm pulling all the 12-step slogans in today. You gotta want it. It's not gonna happen just because but you think it's a good idea to change today. Casually. This has to be born out of some deep longing. I really demand a better life. And because I demand a better life, I'm going to stop criticizing myself. I'm going to stop criticizing others. I'm going to be a lifter. I'm not going to be a leaner. I'm not going to be a drag. I'm not going to criticize. I'm not going to judge. I'm going to love myself enough today to stop all that nonsense. And when I screw up tonight, I'm going to start my day when? Over. Right now. I'm going to say, I'll invoke Ronald Reagan. Oh, there you go again. And as soon as I find myself doing it, I'm going to bring myself right back and say, I love, accept, and approve of myself exactly as I am. And I love the world the way it is. Another statement from Louise Hay. I love the world the way it is. There's nothing I need to change. Life is out picturing perfectly all the time. See, when I get in that mode of me that criticizing myself and criticizing everyone else, what good am I to myself and what good am I to the world? So you need to have a little bit more than a casual interest in your process. You need to have a little bit more than a casual interest in growing. You have to, no, I won't say you have to, because you don't have to do a damn thing. But it might be smart for you to have more than a casual interest in this process, because you have tremendous power at your disposal, and power that will bring you joy and happiness. Let's imagine that you have a life where every challenge is seen by you as an opportunity. What would your life be like then? Where every single flaw that you have becomes a pathway to deeper understanding. And every thought is a tool to shape reality. Well, that's what it is. Every challenge you have is an opportunity. There's a line from the Course in Miracles, which is, it takes great wisdom to understand that all events, circumstances, and happenings are helpful. Everything that's ever happened and ever will happen, because you have this metaphysical understanding, this is wisdom, to know that all events, circumstances, and happenings are helpful. They're not happening to you ever. They're always happening for what? Your greater good and unfoldment. This isn't a fantastical world that I'm talking about. It's reality presented. This is the reality that's presented by our teaching. Ernest Holmes and Louise taught us we are intrinsically worthy. We're deserving of love. And that's what all the characters in that Barnum Bailey song, a bunch of misfits of sorts. Look out, world, here I come. And they're loving themselves, right? And they're deserving of love. And we're deserving of love and acceptance, not in spite of who we are, but because of our uniqueness. Each of us are points of love and awareness in the mind of God. Each of us are one with the one. I had to contemplate that idea for a couple of years. Each of us are one with the one. I had a whole third year of ministerial studies where I think the only word we spoke of was oneness. And of course, everything but oneness showed up that year. But it was an important year because then you start to think, okay, I am creating this situation. I'm creating this person to be a bad guy, a good guy. I'm creating. And then I had a great therapeutic year after that when the instructor, the woman, was saying, well, what are you creating this to be? Who are you creating these people to be? And so the conversation always is about you. It's never about them. Ever, 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 ever. It's always about you and your creations. I had another teacher who said, okay, you're writing the script. You're creating the roles. I create this person to be the clown, this person to be the hero, this person to be my savior. The way it really works is you draw to you what you need to help you on your journey to heal. You are so powerful. You're caused your own experience. You bring the people into your world. It's like the law of attraction. People show up that you need to help you heal, to help you grow. It's the meetings that you have, the relationships you've had, the people that have touched your lives, those are not coincidental occurrences. Everything that's happened has happened not to you, but what? For you, your evolution and your growth. We are spiritual beings. We're on a spiritual journey, and we're here to learn. We're here to stretch. We're here to grow. So people don't realize how powerful they are. We are powerful beyond measure. Yes. You and me, we have the ability to shape our destinies. We can heal our bodies, our souls with the power of our convictions and our consciousness. And when we're faced with adversities, we don't fail or we don't falter because we have power. Because we know that we have immense power and ability within us to turn it all around. We're free to do that. We're armed with the knowledge of this inner power that we possessed, so we bounce back stronger and wiser. We don't take things personally. When life is doing what life is doing and people are saying what people say, we don't take it personally if we're smart. Now, I know a lot of you take everything personally, but the teaching tells us that, look, that comes from the 4 agreements. Take nothing personally. People are showing up doing what they do, right? So what does that have to say about you? What does it have to do with you? I had a sponsor many years ago said, Greg, you just got to let them whirl. I said, what do you mean whirl? I said, well, they're going to spin around and do what they do. What does that have to do with you? Why are you going to get involved in all that? You think you can straighten them out? When I was younger, I used to try to help everybody fix everybody. Anybody else try to do that? I'm going to tell you one thing. People don't behave. I can test. I didn't behave when I was younger either. So they don't. So just let them be. Our teaching, Louise Hay would say, all healing is what? Self-healing, right? So we wake up and realize we're one with this one amazing power, and we share in that power. We have immense ability within us. We're armed with the knowledge of this inner resource. So we bounce back, and we bounce back stronger and wiser. Look out, world, here we come. Our teaching is always about self-acceptance and self-approval. So today I want to remind everyone who's listening, and I know now there's hundreds of you listening every week, to accept yourself fully and without reservation. Know that you have power. You'll always have power. You've had power since the first day, and you'll have power to your last day on earth. And you'll have power to face life with wisdom, knowing that you're supplied and supported. As we think about this lesson and we internalize these ideas, we realize the greatest transformation isn't about the world around us. The greatest transformation is within us. We're all here to learn and grow and evolve. And all of us are doing that. We're learning, we're growing, we're expanding. By the way, whatever you're talking about in your life, remember this one thing: it's always about us. It's always about you. It's never about the other person. The song "This Is Me" from the movie about Barnum became an anthem for self-acceptance, empowerment, and resilience. And here's why. I'm going to get into a little science of mind. I already have, but it's a little deeper. The universal experience of feeling different. We all have that, if you think about it. I felt different when I was a kid, did you? Everyone at some point in their lives has felt out of place. Many people have felt marginalized, they felt different, odd, not the same. Many of us have felt not good enough in some way, not adequate. Some of us have felt bad. We felt bad about everything, or a lot of things, bad about something. And we can't possibly know, as I think about the people I've known in my life, you wish I'd done a few things differently. I can't possibly know what people carry with them. But I know people carry a lot with them. People carry a lot of pain. We had a recent lesson where a couple of the people were talking about the pain they've had all through their life that they've just suppressed. People carry a lot. There's a lot that weigh people down, and we're always suggesting, as much as we can, and we can't do it for you, right? But we're always suggesting, try to find ways to release it. Any of it, and all of it. Because anything that's there, that's pain and holding you back, shame, and a lot of unresolved stuff, which Ernest Holmes talked about, we're anchored with these ancient corpses and resentments. Anything that's within us, these ideas and these places that haunt us, we have all these feelings. We have to find a way to dislodge them, release them. The song today, "This Is Me," speaks of them when it says, "I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away," they say, because we don't want to hear about your broken parts. Society wants us to look good and sound good, and we have stuff within us. The lyric, we don't want your broken parts, captures the sentiment of feeling unseen or unvalued or undervalued due to our flaws or our differences. We need to rise above this. Personally, we need to love ourselves more. We need to heal that stuff and see ourselves as wonderful somehow, some way. That's the work. Loving yourself so you can see yourself as God sees you. I remember a song chant, "I am as God created me, in the light and the love and the glory." Each of us are individualizations of this God life. So we want to rise from these places of brokenness and find ways to dislodge those conversations which would suggest we're something less than wonderful. We must release the need for this, release the need for the fear and the criticism and the blame. Wherever you're blaming or criticizing yourself or anyone else, what a pity. It doesn't have to be that way. We want to wake up to realize we are one with the one. We want to remember that we are individualizations of this energy, this intelligence. Everything the universe has in terms of intelligence and power is within us and operating through us. The song that was played today says there's a place for us. It said we are glorious. There's a place for us. So we want to awaken to the idea that we're whole, we're complete, and we are in fact glorious beings of light. I know there's a place for us expresses a hope and a determination to find one's place in the world. In the lyric of the lyrics suggest the great resilience that we have. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, those words are my words. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, where I'm being critical of myself, I want to have the ability to drown them out. The song says, I'm going to drown them out. I'm going to love myself enough. I'm going to drown them out. I'm going to love myself more. This lyric is a testament to our power and our ability to rise above negativity and stay the course and stay on the path. This song, This Is Me, is a proclamation of self-acceptance. It's a declaration to the world that we will no longer hide or be ashamed of who we are. We're going to love ourselves, imperfections and all. We're here to love and express love, to shine and freely be who we are. God doesn't make junk. You've heard that before. We're here to learn from one another and not to judge a soul. We know each person is a unique expression of God life and evolving and unfolding in divine right order. The message speaks to the human experience. So learning to celebrate ourselves individually, love ourselves more, we can also find unity because we know everybody's got stuff and everyone's struggling. And my God, we don't want to judge anybody. Everyone has felt pain, rejection, and the weight of society. We've all had different cultural, all over the world, there's cultural expectations. So I think all of us have had something. So we know that this is a shared experience that people have. So we can decide to be kinder and we can decide to support one another. We know that people carry pain and people, beneath the surface of people who are wearing a mask is a human being that has things that they're working with. And we can be more sensitive to that. We can be kinder. I think, it's a basic Christian message. Love your brother, love your sister as yourself, and other ideas. Those of you who have not sinned, cast the first stone. We've all missed the mark. So I think as we mature as people, there's less of a desire to speak about what other people are doing. Most of us will realize we have much work to do with ourselves, which I used to say, the most important person in the world. All healing is self-healing. I have work to do. I really am not here to straighten anybody else out. So we've all been through a lot. We're here as we participate in these lessons week by week. We get stronger and stronger. There's a cumulative effect from showing up here because we're always reminding you of all the power you have. We become wiser and we're continuing to learn. We're being reminded we're continuing to learn. The song This Is Me reminds us to embrace the divine within, acknowledging that we are all unique expressions of a greater whole. The universe or higher power doesn't make any mistakes. Our imperfections are part of our unique spiritual journey and our story. Our mistakes, if they're called mistakes and imperfections, are not blemishes to be hidden, but testaments to our strength, resilience, and our individuality. They make us who we are, and there's beauty in that. So let's talk about acceptance. There's healing power in it. To heal, we must first accept. We must love, accept, and approve of ourselves. Denying or hiding parts of ourselves only perpetuates pain. By acknowledging and embracing all parts of ourselves, we pave the way for healing and growth. This song is really beautiful to listen to and it help you that way. Another song was India Arie's song, I Am Light. Today, as I wind down this lesson, I want to reemphasize the profound concept that life is intrinsically tied to your consciousness. Everything's about your consciousness. Consciousness serves as the remarkable force behind creativity and the transformation of your life. You have consciousness, and if you're new to the call, stay tuned, I'll keep explaining it. Your consciousness is creating everything. Everyone, it creates everything in everyone, and it's yours to use. This creative capacity is within every individual, and it underscores that you possess inner strength to overcome any challenge. We have all been influenced by parental figures of one kind or another that shaped the foundation of our consciousness. They were the earliest influencers, giving us beliefs that became deeply rooted within us, and they were the start of what shaped our identity. Life is an ongoing journey of spiritual growth and self-discovery, characterized by your consciousness expanding always. As we delve into this teaching, a key realization comes forth. The universe operates under a set of universal laws, a set of principles that guide its rhythm. There's the law of gravity with its unwavering pull. There's the law of attraction, drawing like unto like, which we talk about every week. There's the law of giving and receiving, which is a dance of reciprocity. Giving and receiving are actually the same, one of the flip sides of the coin. These laws harmonize under the grand law of cause and effect, where every action sparks a reaction. Every choice sows a consequence. Within this great dance, our choices, our beliefs, our faith, our feelings emerge on the canvas of our consciousness and bring reality to life. So this grand canvas that we all are a part of is an interconnected masterpiece, revealing the intimate ties between the physical world we live in and the universal consciousness that weaves the whole thing. The thoughts we nurture, the intentions we hold, and the awareness we possess shape the reality we live in. And amidst this big dance, this phenomena, mindfulness emerges as the guardian of the gate. Each of us are the stewards of our thoughts and our emotions. And we realize that our fears and judgments cast a shadow in our world and echo through the corridors of our well-being. So we want to do what we can to eliminate them, release the need for the fears and the judgments. Just find the way. I release the need for this and that and replace the fearful thoughts with the thoughts of truth, the thoughts that are life-giving. So as we're learning to live the affirmative life, a life of positive expectancy, our mind then becomes a beacon, leading us to a path of improved living, greater health, inner peace, and all the things that we desire. We come to understand that in the vastness of, as you think about time, there is always divine love and the laws of God in perpetual motion. We say love points the way, law makes the way possible. We journey towards the core of our being, peeling away layers of illusion to uncover the spiritual essence, the greatness within us. I'll close with the beginning of the Sanskrit proverb, which always says, "Look to this day, for it is life." Each day brings an invitation to start again, to love ourselves and others more, and to acknowledge the power and the guidance that resides within us always. In the heart of this journey, the lyrics of today's song resonate. We declaring our authenticity and our strength against adversity. As we champion our true selves, we align with the universal laws of life. We're allowing our consciousness to flourish. In closing today's lesson, we are reminded of the unbreakable bond between life and consciousness. We're reminded that the beliefs, the thoughts, and the emotions that we cultivate shape our reality. Within us lies the key. We have the power to steer our ship. We have the power to heal. We have the power to utilize and harmonize with the universal laws that govern existence. With each sunrise, we start our journey of self-discovery, growth, and transformation. It's a journey without a distance, awaiting our awakening and embrace every single day. And so it is. Thank you.